Hello and welcome to this channel. This is Abdul Salam. In this third part of the video lectures about modal verbs, I'm going to discuss the modal verbs must and ought to. So let's start the video. Must and ought to. First, must. Must is used, the modal verb must is used to express obligation or necessity. For example, you must improve your spelling. It is a necessity. You must improve your spelling. You must get up early. An obligation. You must get up early. Must is used only in the present tense. For the past tense, we use had to instead of must. For example, you must get up early. This is the present and the future. But if we have to express an obligation or necessity in the past, we will say, he had to get up early in the morning. You had to improve your spelling. So, must is used for the present and future, while a had to is used instead of must to express necessity or obligation in the past. There are two kinds of obligations. One that is coming from the speaker, from me, the person who is talking, and the other one is that is coming from the outside, another person, from somewhere else. So, if the obligation is coming from the speaker, must is used, the modal verb must is used. But if the obligation is coming from outside, from another person, then we use have to instead of must. For example, if I say, I must be on a diet, it means it is my idea that I have to be on a diet. It is my idea that I should be on a diet. So I should say this obligation comes from me. So I should say, I must be on a diet. But if I say I have to be on a diet, it means the obligation is not coming from me. It is coming from somebody else. For example, a doctor. A doctor has said that I have to be on a diet. Must is also used to express logical certainty. When a person is certain that certain thing has happened, that something has happened, he uses must. For example, living in such crowded conditions must be difficult. It is the logical conclusion that living in such conditions must be very difficult. So, must is used to show logical certainty. She must have left already. I know it's very late and it's time that she must have left. I know it's very late and she must have left. Ought to. Ought to is just like must, but it expresses moral obligation. Only moral obligation. For example, we ought to love our neighbors. There is no necessity to do it, but it is a moral obligation, and we use the modal verb ought to. We ought to love our neighbors. We ought to help him. Moral obligation, moral responsibility. Ought to is also used for expressing probability. The prices ought to come down. I guess the prices will come down soon. So we use ought to. The prices ought to come down soon. This book ought to be very useful. I think this book is going to be very useful. I guess. So we use ought to. This book ought to be very useful. That's all for this lecture. Thanks.